This hawthorn almost didn't make it. 2 years ago, I air-laid it from the top of this thick hawthorn hedging stump and planted it in this basket and hoped it would survive. Since then, it's grown thick, wild and chaotic, but somewhere inside of this is a bonsai. Today we're going to style this tree for the very first time and try and turn chaos into something natural, believable and full of character. This is a Cretaceous monogyna, or a common hawthorn tree. It's a tree which I picked up from someone on Facebook. Now, I always like to make the point that I'm a big fan of the smaller trees, shohin and marmate trees. And when I first saw this tree, I immediately thought there's a super shohin tree, particularly in the top half of the tree, if you look at this part. And so my immediate thought was to air layer this top part off the tree. There's a moment in bonsai where a tree stops being a problem and starts becoming a possibility. This hawthorn began as a thick, rugged stump, torn from a hedge. What you're looking at now is the top portion, an air layer that took over a year to root. And to be honest, I wasn't entirely sure it would survive. Today I want to go back through that process to understand why it worked and to see if we can't find our way forward and find order in the chaos of this tree. And right now, although this tree has lots of growth, it has very little clarity. When it finally came time to separate the top of this tree, I'll admit I rushed it, mainly due to impatience. The roots were there, but not abundant. And this is one of those moments in bonsai where experience doesn't remove uncertainty. It just teaches you how to manage it. So I planted it into a pond basket, not for aesthetics, but for survival, for maximum aeration, rapid root development, and minimal risk of rot. And then I left it alone, and this is the result. Now, hawthorn is not the fastest species to respond. That thick, plated bark, while beautiful, slows everything down. Where some species might root in a few months, this one took over a year. There's a few key takeaways here. Species dictates timeline. Hawthorn requires patience. The bark slows callousing and root emergence. Don't rush separation, but don't fear it either. Now we arrive at the real challenge. The tree is healthy, vigorous, but structurally, it's confused. There's no clear trunk line, no defined branch hierarchy, and no sense of direction. One of the greatest problems we have with this tree at the moment is that because it's got such a profusion of branches, and some of those quite thick, it is quite confused, and there is no single trunk line which suggests itself at the moment. When we're working with a tree like this, we always have options, and we can consider a number of different alternatives when thinking about the design of the tree. There are clearly too many thick branches or multiple stems, and one or more will have to go. But we need to decide which gives us the best option for the tree. And always we need to bear in mind that we're thinking in terms of years and growing seasons for the tree, rather than an instant immediate fix. One option would be to air layer out this central thick portion of the tree, and that would give me an even shorter Marmay Hawthorn tree, but I don't have a lot of space in there to put an air layer on the tree, and I know from experience that Hawthorn can take a while to air layer. It's possible that we might choose to plant the tree at a different angle, and that might present new options to us in terms of a design. And at the end of the day, if we're still not sure, is we can look at which branches we certainly don't need, and we can remove those, because then we have less of a problem to consider. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and clean up the tree a little and give us a clearer idea of exactly what it is that we're working with here. Problem branches might include handlebar branches that sprout out from the trunk at the same level around the tree, branches which are growing back in towards the centre of the tree, such as we have in here, or weak branches such as this one. We can also just remove some of this lens. What we're looking for is to set the core design of the tree and position those primary branches at this stage. One of the things I can do immediately is clean up this stump on the tree, and also just in here I have some weak growth in here that I can remove, and some longer growth at the top, which I'm just going to clear out of the way. This long straight branch is problematic, and I can't see that featuring in any design. There is, however, a bud quite low down on here, and it's possible that we might be able to grow that out to become a branch and give us a little bit of taper on the trunk as it develops from the main trunk. What I don't want is the rest of this long straight growth here, so I'm going to remove that. And that's one less problem to think about. One possible design sees me taking out this huge, thick central part of the tree. And what that would give me is this stump, potentially with a branch coming out here. There is a low branch coming out here that I might be able to wire down, and the main trunk of the tree would be this interesting shaped branch. But do I want a tree that is almost splitting into three separate trunks? Or do I want to keep this central thick portion, which already represents the age of the tree, and do something to remove these other branches, or try and mitigate the problems I've got there in terms of the thickness of those branches? Do I, for example, remove that whole portion and have this as the shape and design of the tree? Often it's useful to remove the thicker branches and make use of the thinner branches, because that helps us to develop the taper in the tree and create that sense of proportion as we go from the thick trunk to the thinner branches and then out onto the secondary and tertiary branches on those. I have decided in this case to remove this awkward thick branch. Although it has an interesting shape and might give it an interesting trunk line, the time invested in this tree is in the thick trunk. And if I remove that, I can use these branches further up to form the canopy of my tree. And also, if I reduce this back branch down, I can use that as a usable branch in my design. One thing to remember though is that once you've removed a branch, you can't grow that back. That's not entirely true. You can regrow branches and regrow canopy on a tree, but it will mean investing in a number of growing seasons. So, having said that, let's go for this branch removal. So here's our tree with that trunk removed. What I plan to do next is to remove most of the length of this branch to this point for the time being, but then perhaps further back. And what I'm hoping is that I'm going to get buds further down here which will become serviceable branches in time. And then I'm going to use these branches in the top of the tree and just wire those down a little, and maybe use this thin branch to form a future apex on the tree. Notice I'm not trying to finish the tree today. This is about revealing structure, not refinement. So I've just added some thin wire. I've anchored it on this branch here, brought it up and round this thin branch to form a new apex on the tree, which I want to allow to thicken and develop over time. And the wire is just a loose coil around that just to guide it rather than to force it into position. And I'd like to get some wire on some of these other branches, and because they're a little bit thicker, I'll use a slightly thicker gauge of copper wire just to bring those into a more downward aspect. Being very careful not to trap or disturb the existing foliage. I'm using copper just simply because it gives a far stronger holding for the gauge of wire. Unlike aluminium, if you knock copper wire, you're more likely to scar yourself than to dislodge or move the branch out of place. And just bring that round onto this other branch. So remember, this isn't the finished design of the tree, we're just moving the tree forward. And I will revisit this next year and see how the branches have developed over the growing season. And I might just add another bit of wire to attach this branch to this one. Bring this one up again to help develop the canopy of the tree, and just wire this one out to the side here. I'm trying to create those primary branches. A little bit of positioning just to suggest direction, but nothing aggressive. The tree is still in development. So here is the tree now. I completed the wiring, and I also added a guy wire here just to pull this branch downwards. I've sealed this large wound with cut putty. In this case, it's cut putty that I got from Adam at Notion Bonsai. And this is by no means the finished tree. I will be keeping an eye on this tree and allowing it to grow out over this growing season, and I will be revisiting it in future seasons to develop and ramify the canopy on this tree. Let me know in the comments, what do you think and what would you have done differently? Now we can finally see something. A trunk line, primary branches, a sense of movement. It's not complete, but it's coherent, and that's the real goal of this stage. From here, the path is clearer to build ramification, refine branch placement, and gradually reduce internodes. This is where the real bonsai begins. Of course, this is only one half of the story. And in fact, the more interesting part of the tree is this lower portion. But if you want to see how I'm going to transform this, then you'll have to check out this video next.